Hi, welcome back to my channel and a very happy new year. I thought I would start the year doing something I've not done for a really long time, if ever actually, and I thought I would show you my everyday makeup regime. I'm also going to film my everyday skincare routine. I'm going to split them between day and evening. I finally am comfortable in my skin. I feel that it is going well, it feels settled. I'm really enjoying the products I use, so I thought I would show you them also, so keep an eye out for that. Not sure which I will put first, my makeup or my skincare, but either way, just ignore my hair. I'm waiting to have it done currently. I've got it back in this Alice band at the minute to get it off my face while I do my makeup. So as you can see, I'm completely bare skinned at the moment. I've done the school run and all of that kind of stuff. I've done my skincare preparation, and the only product really that I need to show you for this to prep my skin ready for makeup is the L'Oreal Expert Wrinkle Expert Collagen. It's the day cream. The label is disappearing by the day, but I'm very close to the end of this now. I haven't got much left at all. It's really nice, smells really fresh and clean. I'm funny about really fragrance products, but this is really nice. It's just a high street bottom tier in terms of price product, and it does the job for me. I use some more intense serums and retinols and that kind of thing on my skin in an evening usually, so this does me the absolute job once I have done cleansed my face, etc. This actually is for 35 years plus, recommended on the label. I'm not that old yet, not long, but I feel like it can't do me too much harm, surely. So it depends on what I'm doing to what products I use day to day, but they tend to stick around the same kind of stuff. So first up, I've got the Touche Eclair Blur Primer. I absolutely love this. This is only a small tester pot. I wanted to try it before I went ahead and purchased full price because it's quite pricey. I'd not used Touche Eclair until just before Christmas when I bought my first concealer. And so I picked this up with it. It's lovely. I don't use this every day because I want to save it, but as you can see, it's really sticky. It comes with a spoolie that looks like so, and the product itself is clear. It's got tiny specks of gold. The gold is proved to do absolutely nothing for your skin. Following Caroline Hirons, I'm sure you all do. She recently did a post all around that on Instagram, and I can imagine it's true. So all I do is just wipe it across my face. I should probably put this onto something before putting directly on my face, but it's only me that's ever going to use it, and this product's not going to last that long. So I have quite enlarged pores, and this tends to blur them out, so when I put my foundation on you can't see them so much. It is by no means perfect, but it does the job. So I'm just going to blur all that in. Sorry if I'm not looking at you, but I have a mirror here. Unfortunately my camera doesn't have a flip up screen option. If it did, I would be using that. I'm currently on the Sony A7 Mark II. I love it, but we're probably due an upgrade. So once that's all on my skin, it feels so luxurious and smooth. I then will move on to foundation. Previously, I've always used concealer first and then gone over with my foundation, but I recently watched quite a couple of videos and also spoke to one of my friends, a makeup artist, and she always insists that she does her foundation first and then follows through with concealer because you can see the areas that need that little bit extra work. So next up I have two concealers, but I'm not going on to concealer next, but I'll show you first. First one is really got no label left on it. It's just a collection, you know, that hero product that everybody has. It's in fair, sorry, and I just use that for my under eyes to lighten it up. But at the moment I'm using the Yves Saint Laurent Touche Eclair, and I'm using this in the lightest one, I believe. Does it tell me on here which one it is? I think it's light anyway. looks like so, and then inside it looks like this, and it has a clicker on the bottom and you click it and then use it. But I'm going to stick with foundation first. So at the moment, to apply my foundation, I changed from a beauty blender to this, and this is the Expert Face Brush by Real Techniques. It was in a box that I bought from Smashbox earlier. I think it was in the autumn. It's really nice. It's super soft, but it's super dense, which is what I like. Again, I have two foundations on the go at the moment. One is the L'Oreal Perfect Match, and the other one, oh no, this is the Rimmel Perfect Match. The other one is the L'Oreal Perfect Shade. So this is in True Ivory. It is too pale for me, definitely too pale, but during the winter I'm much paler than I am in the summer, and I will just shade in with some bronzer. So to apply that, I apply it directly to my brush, and then I will just dab on my face so it's evenly spread, and then just start to work it in like a buffing action, circular motions. Try not to drag on my eye area because they need no encouragement at the moment. They're pretty baggy. I've got two young children, they wear me out, as well as work and, you know, the other usual things. I usually need about a pump and a half just to get around my face. I find with the primer that my foundation goes on much smoother. I get much less absorption because it kind of slides over my skin rather than being sucked up. I've got quite dry skin, and I think it just creates that barrier between my makeup and my pores. I could go much heavier. If I was going on a night out, I definitely would, but today I've really only got the chores to do, picking up the children after work and that kind of thing, so I don't want to go in heavy. Okay, so that's my foundation. Next up is my concealer. Already discussed this. This is the YSL Touche Eclair. I usually give it one click, that's enough usually, and just draw it down under my eyes. This is the primary area where I need it. As you can see, just go taking it down slightly, and then actually I will take it just slightly above to lighten my lid. Click for the other side. It's really the only area I really need to conceal on a day-to-day basis. I don't really have many other blemishes. I have some areas like around my nose and things I could lighten if I chose, but because I don't want to go heavy today, I'm not going to do too much. So now to blend this in, I could either press it in with my fingers, or I go back to using my face brush. I also have another brush I use, and this is the pointed foundation brush by Real Techniques. This actually needs a wash, and I would just push this in my foundation. I'll do that today actually, rather than buffing. I just press it. This concealer doesn't move too much, so you know sometimes when you're blending in your concealer it can just move and then you've moved it from the primary location. Anyway, it doesn't tend to do that. It's a really nice consistency. Beauty blender is great for this as well. Mine's currently been washed, so it's out to dry. So if I was going out on a night out, it doesn't really happen very often. I perhaps might go another layer on this one eye, but for now that's absolutely fine. The weather has just turned really, really bad out there. Not great. So that is the base. Now to set that, I just have the Real Techniques blush brush. I just love it because it's super fluffy. I do have the blusher brush. I've got it in here. Here, the Durofiber face brush, but it's actually, I've had it a really long time and it's losing its fluffiness. So I much prefer this brush. It's super, super soft. I use it for a bit of everything, to be honest. I'm using the Rimmel transparent powder. It's just a light powder. I just swirl it in there, give it a little tap and just brush it gently, mainly over my eyes. I'm trying to set that concealer in so it doesn't move, and it will do that without looking cakey. I think it's the combination of product. It sits really nicely. I'm changing between two bronzers at the moment. I tend to use this as my everyday. Again, this is a Max Factor bronzer and it looks like so. It's got a highlight and bronze. It's matte. It's got no shine in it whatsoever. It's well used, as you can see from the packet. It also is transported a lot. And again, I just kind of pinch my brush so it's more flat and then work it along my cheekbones. I'll go back in a minute and blend it, and then just dab it and swirl it and go to wherever the sun would naturally catch me, swirling it mainly across my cheekbones. I like a little bit on my nose because I'm naturally quite freckly, and then taking it up onto the top of my forehead and making sure I get the full 3 and E. Is that what it is? So again, I don't want to be too dark because I'm not going far. Next up is blush. I'm not wearing much blush at the moment. I change between the Benefit tint. I use it on my lips or my cheeks. It's a great multi-use product, but at the minute I'm using, it's really grubby, the Smashbox, and that is the LA Lights Blush and Highlight Palette. It looks like this. As you can see, I use this one a lot. I tend to use this one in the summer when I'm darker, and this is like a highlight. It's beautiful, but this is my main colour. So I will just dab it. It's really pigmented, so you don't need a lot, and just brush it on gently. Yeah, if I wanted to add a highlight, I just dab it, and like I did before, when you pinch your brush so it's narrow, just sweep it up along the top, and that's nice. Next up are my brows. I am out. I usually use the Goof Proof brow pencil. I'm out of that at the moment with the Benefit one, so I'm currently using a shadow. Do I have it here? No, I don't. I have the large version. So I have a small sleek palette, looks like so. It's called the Eye Divine, and within there, right at the bottom, is a dark shadow. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm using this one, and I just pinch my eyebrow pencil. It's a Tropic pencil brush, sorry, and I just brush them through gently. Usually my brows are tinted, so I don't need a lot, but you can see the difference in the definition. Again, this palette is super pigmented, so you really just need to touch it. I wouldn't brush my brush against it because it just doesn't need it. So that's my brows. I just rough it with this side now. Next up for my eyeshadow, I don't tend to use a lot on day to day, but I'm just going to first of all lighten up with this shade down here. Just sweep it all the way along, taking it up slightly but not a great deal. I was looking back on some photos the other day where we used to highlight our brow arch and it was super shiny and pearlescent. Not anymore. I'm changing between a couple of palettes at the moment for eyeshadows if I was going all out. My favourite at the moment, it's so grubby again, you can tell I have children, is the Smashbox Ablaze eye palette. Again, this was in the Salmon Nick box. I absolutely love it, and it looks like I've hardly touched it. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Day to day I will use this top colour, which is called Moccasin, and just sweep it over that top of my lid. It's just really natural, just lightening, and it's enough for the day, just to brighten my eyes a little bit. I also have the Dior palette. This is a Dior palette. This is called Adore. As you can see, it's well used again, and I like this top one, top right. But I'm going to stick with the Smashbox palette today, and I'm just going to take over this colour down here, which is Siesta, I think. Just take it on the outer sides. And then just blend it over. So keeping it super natural. I'm then going to take a little bit of that underneath. On the other eye. And then just blend it through a little bit. I've got a few mascaras on the go at the moment. First up is a Smashbox Superfan. This is just the tester, but I do have a full size also. But my favourite, it has been for a long time, is the L'Oreal Paradise. I have it in black. Blackest black. It's probably due an upgrade actually. But I haven't found a mascara that is as black and as coating as this one. My lashes just seem to really like it, and then when I come to wash it off at the end of the day, it's really nice too. I'm just going to need my mirror. Just dab it on my bottom lashes to define them a bit. That's my eyes done. And then the last thing I do, I won't be wearing lipstick because I'm not going anywhere. I just use some Carmex lip balm. I love the tingling sensation. It looks like so. It's the original cherry flavour, and it's amazing. So that is that. I think I will need to keep this headband on. Super simple, everyday makeup, my favourite products at the moment. Hope you enjoyed that. If you use any of those products or you have any alternatives, let me know. Nice to see you. Bye.